Hello, this is going to be the fourth podcast of Reeve's Ramblings, and it's me, James, back again. Today I will, as I said in the last one, be talking about why it is I do what I do. I expect this one to be shorter than the other ones because, one, I've been feeling absolutely terrible recently, and two, because there's not that much to talk about with this one. But yeah, I do lots of different things. Though the predominant one I'm going to be talking about is YouTube. So I guess I'll start with that, as that is the platform that, this hopefully is being listened to on. So, I YouTube because YouTubers and their content have got me through a lot. Lots of their videos make me happy. As I've mentioned recently in my revlogs and whatnot, I've recently watched Wilford Mother-Loving Wolfstache, a video by Markiplier, and one, that was a very expensive YouTube video that had the budget for a couple episodes of a TV show. It was 40 odd grand, but just one small scene that's 6 seconds long, the introduction to that character is phenomenal. And in my opinion, it's probably, not in my opinion, to me, it is probably one of the best character introductions I've ever seen. And it's a YouTube video. But that's something more recent, something top-of-the-line YouTube style. Going back 2-3 years, I used to watch Daily Noob Pona and B-Man the Gamer. They had a Minecraft series. They had the Power Rangers Play Tekkit, or something like that. They also had one where they built a sky fortress on survival mode. And I don't know why they did it, but it was entertaining. It was the best form of escapism I had back then, because I didn't have the energy to read. I didn't really watch it, I mostly listened to it. Similar with Rage Gaming videos and Quick Build Challenge, which introduced me to my favourite YouTuber, Generation Hollow. I don't really watch his stuff anymore because he's moved on from doing the sort of videos that I enjoy, but as far as people go, he is my favourite YouTuber. But yeah, I watched their whole YouTuber sphere for a while. I don't watch it very much anymore because all of them have moved on. Really, from what it is that I tend to watch. But that doesn't change the fact that they are wonderful people and they enjoy what they do. I wanted to support them. I've actually donated money to Rage Gaming videos and Generation Hollow. When I was in, I think it was during my A-levels, I donated them money on live streams because I felt they deserved it. They are the sort of people that I would like to be. The sort of people who get by and enjoy life, but they enjoy what they do, but what they do also brings enjoyment to other people's lives. I want to be the sort of person where what I do will make other people happy. As I've said before, potentially not on the channel, but to my friends, I have mentioned almost everything I do is for other people, which I feel as though makes me lack substance slightly, which may contribute partially to why I've never had a successful romantic relationship, but that's looking far too far into it for this rambling of a podcast. No. I just want to make other people happy. There's the people I care about, and their happiness, which is paramount to me. There's a few of my best friends. 2 in particular presently, but there is a third one as well who is invaluable to me, regardless of their opinions of me. And then there's my second tier of best friends, and my family. I was thinking earlier that my brother, hi Alex if you're watching, is excuse the language, fucking dickhead, and I have to say he's probably the most irritating person that I have ever known. I would not get along with him if I didn't know him. But if anyone were to hurt him, then I would rip their limbs off and replace them with, like, I don't know, broomsticks. Then, like, I don't know, cement their joints into a specific place and use them as a mop or something, I don't know. So, yeah, he may be a knob, but he's my brother. Just like one of my best friends, the top of the second tier of best friends, they're also a bit of a knob. But again, if they need me, I'll be there. Like, I don't think that if we met today we would be friends, but we are friends, and so I care. So that's how I sort of spend my private life, is friend wants something to be done, I'll make sure it gets done. Friend needs someone to listen to them, I'll listen. Friend needs some advice, I'll advise. Though also mention the fact that I'm not a professional, so my advice may not be great. But as a profession, I have teacher as my current, like, actual profession I'm working towards. But the reason I'm doing that is because I know that teaching's gonna suck, because it makes kids upset constantly, even A-level and whatnot, which is what oh, hang on, I'm getting a phone call. Sorry, that was my nan, so I felt I kind of needed to answer it in case it was anything super important. It wasn't, it was just, they're having their roof done at the moment, and so there was some water that she wanted to warn me about, because it's coming down in an unusual location. In case you didn't know, it's raining the day I record this. Woo! Anyway, where was I? Yes, profession, teacher, yes, teaching sucks, cool. Yes, I, as a student, had so many moments where I was so upset just because teachers were doing their job. And I understand it isn't the fault of the teachers individually, but rather as the education system as a whole, hence why I was going to do a proper YouTube video on my thoughts on the education system and potentially how to make it better. But I planned it all out. I even asked a photographer for an image that I was going to credit them. If I'm not mistaken, it's Caitlin Brady Photography. I highly recommend you check it out. They're, as far as I'm aware of the photographers, they're quite good. Yeah, but I never got round to actually doing the video because there are so many things I don't know about the education system, highlighted by one of my friends whose father is a teacher, I think, and who got educated in a different part of the country, and said there are so many things that were different there, and so I don't know enough to feel like I can make a video on it, and I don't know anyone to contact regarding it. Like, if I had a contact number for a few different schools in different places, then I gave them a call, or preferably email, because, oh god, making all those different calls would suck, whereas I just sent out one massive email. That'd be great. But I don't, and I feel as though if I did send them out, I probably wouldn't get replies. Regardless, I hope to make that video one day, but no time soon. But yeah, being a teacher would suck, because I would be upsetting people more so than making them happy. And I want to help people learn as well, hence why I have a playlist with one video in called Education on this channel, because I would like to be able to teach people stuff. I plan on doing a small series on teaching Kung Fu when I get my next belt, which is the instructor's level. So that way I will feel competent instructing to a degree. I'm not sure how well it's going to go, or how frequent or infrequent uploads may be, etc. But it's something I want to put out. There's so many things I want to do, and the YouTube channel can be so versatile. You can do so much with it, and hopefully if people do watch my videos, hopefully they'll enjoy them. And that's all I want, really, is people to watch my shit and enjoy it. I want to be a source of happiness for people. I know it's selfish to an extent, but it's also selfless, because if I was to apply all of the time that I've put into this channel, and I think I've got, like, maybe, like, I've got at least a few hundred hours of upload time at the moment, at least. If I were to have put that into other things, like writing my book, for example. I know I can't really do very much on that when I'm not in the mood for it, but that's an example. Or learning a language, which is something that I've been planning to do, and I literally have 3 books for within my eyesight right now. Then I would be so much more employable. I could be, like, I could have spent it working at an actual job and not have literally pennies to my name right now. That'd be nice. And then I probably wouldn't have to worry about my £70 a month budget, which is going to suck, because I could easily eat more than that in a week. No problem. But oh well. Then, yeah, we've also got the small factor of the fact that the YouTube channel, there's so much stuff, but I need to get noticed first. Hence why I'm trying so many varied things at the moment. I've got this podcast, which isn't doing wonderfully, but I actually had feedback on it, which is lovely. 2 people said they enjoyed it, which is probably the best thing to have come out of my YouTube channel so far. I have a versus battle, which may have gone up by the time I make this live, I'm not sure, which is something I've never really thought about doing, but I started watching some versus battles this last week or so, from, what are they called? Swag Kage. I've been watching some of Swag Kage's versus battles. Most of them are Naruto based, hence, and the reason I'm watching them is because I started rewatching Naruto, and then they, like, just came up in my suggested list. I watched one. I was like, cool, not bad. And so I watched some more, and then I was like, whoa. I started replaying Prototype. I will do an Alex Mercer versus Kakashi Hatake versus battle, because there's not one on the internet. Well, there's not one on YouTube when you search for it. I will have, like, the only one. And I know it's probably not going to get many views. Why? Because neither Prototype nor Naruto are particularly, big at the moment. They're not current stuff. I'm not particularly up with the current stuff. But one of my videos got 94 views with 6.5 hours worth of watch time total. One whole comment, and it was Darksiders related. I don't know why it took so long to get the views, but it did get them, and I'm looking forward to when Darksiders 3 comes out, because then I can make loads of Darksiders content and it'll actually be relevant. And hopefully I'll enjoy the game, because I really wasn't enjoying Darksiders 2 when I was playing it. And that's another thing. When I was watching Generation Hollow every single day, because I did, he was playing video games I wanted to play. Fallout 4, I couldn't play it. Like, I didn't have a console to play it on, and I couldn't afford the game itself, let alone a console and the game. But he had it, he played it, I got to see what it was like, and he was generous enough to go through different paths and talk it through, and it meant a lot to me. And same thing with Dark Souls 2 and Dark Souls 3, and Dark Souls 1. He's the reason I bought Dark Souls 1, and sparked my entire love for the Dark Souls franchise, along with The Witcher. The Witcher 2, he did a playthrough of. I've played that game all the way through now, and it's phenomenal. But I wouldn't have known if it wasn't for him. YouTube is a place for learning, not just about stuff. Like PhilosophyTube, excellent channel for learning bits of philosophy. They don't tend to stick in my head very well, but they're very entertaining, so I can use them as sort of reference points for my own revision, aside from, I'm not allowed to actually reference them in my essays, I don't think. I might need to ask my advisor about that anyway. But yes, the reason I do YouTube is partially in the hopes to one day make money out of it, because I enjoy making the stuff. It's good. It's nice. It's hard work, but it's the sort of hard work that I can see myself doing for the rest of my life. Then The main reason I do it, though, is because I want people to watch it, and for it to help them in the ways I've been helped by similar stuff. That might be why some of my stuff tends to look similar to other people's stuff, but so far I haven't noticed that many similarities. Anyway, I will just be reiterating the same points if I keep going with this, so yeah, I'm gonna move on to why I do other things. Like my hobbies. I do Kung Fu because self-defense is good. I wanted to do a martial art when I was a kid, but I couldn't. I wasn't allowed because my brother, Alex, got kicked out of Taekwondo because of my cousin. But that's that. And yeah, I picked it up when I was younger, and I really hated going to start with, but I knew it wasn't going to be tough to start. No, I knew it was going to be tough to start. It wasn't going to be easy to start. And I kept going, and I persisted, and it kept going, and kept going, and kept going. And eventually, I found myself really enjoying it. Like, when I got past my first belt, I'd been going for a year at that point. I got my yellow belt, and I started learning the green belt stuff, which I'd learnt part of already because I was the lowest belt there, so I'd learnt the stuff that the other people were doing in the higher belts when they were doing it, just by watching. So then we moved on from just stepping to stepping and punching. We moved on from standing in the most ridiculous and impractical stance to punch to actual jabs and crosses, which I'd done in my 1 to 2 hours of boxing practice earlier in my life, and it didn't make sense there, but it made sense at Kung Fu. It fit. So, yeah, I do it partially because my health, partially because it's fun, partially because, self-defense is just good to know, and I can teach other people it. I'm starting to get to a point where, as I said earlier, I want to teach other people it. I want to share that knowledge. Yes, I'm going to do a free YouTube series on it at some point, but I also want to instruct it properly, like, in a studio, and, like, charging people to do it. Not because I want to make money off of it, but because I want people to, well, it's hard to say. I want to be able to do it, and to afford to be able to do it. I don't want to have to pay to be able to teach people, and I know people are more likely to learn it quicker in person when you can correct them when they go wrong. Otherwise, they're likely to develop bad habits, and especially on a YouTube channel, if I put up a video and do one thing slightly wrong and people copy it to a T, then they will learn to do it slightly wrong. So, yeah. And also, people probably don't want to learn Kung Fu from me because I don't look like one of those really buff, ripped Hollywood martial art film people. Like, I can't tear off my shirt and have, like, an oiled, bald body with just muscles everywhere. Like, I do have the muscles underneath the fat, underneath the skin, underneath the hair, but it doesn't look the same. But yeah, so I partially do it because I want to earn some money out of it, and so I can keep doing it and get other people to do it. Because there's not much I do in my life at the moment that earns money, but things that could earn money are frequent. Pole I do almost entirely for the exercise. At least I would have said that last year. However, this year I've learned that the pole community at UEA is phenomenal, so I do it because the people. I don't do it at the moment because of my elbow, but I'm going back to the doctors about that, so I should be hopefully okay. I will let you know. Regardless, what else do? I draw, which is mostly to keep me calm. I write because I want to publish something. It's been a goal of mine for a while, and I have so many ideas in my head that I just have to get them out. Writing's the only way I can do it, but the problem with that is I get one out, and I type 20,000 words in a day. Then I stop, and I can never get back into it. That's why I currently have a story which is about 26,000 words, Because one day I did 21,000, I think, and I stopped. And then the next day I went back to it and did like 4,000. Over the past 2 to 3 months, I've done the rest. The other 1,000-ish words. I don't know whether there's a fix for that, or whether I just need to get a ghostwriter and tell them what I want, and we can split any profits. That'd be nice. Yeah. Then I don't really do much else. I play video games, keep me calm. I exercise, keep me healthy and calm. Yeah. Well, I told you this one will probably be a bit shorter, but, whatever. I hope you've enjoyed it. The next one, I have no idea what it's going to be on. I'm currently debating doing it on the first 2 Pokemon films, but that's not really a Reeve rambling topic. That's like a topic for a specific video rather than a podcast episode. So, yeah, I'll think of something, probably. If not, this may be the last one. Who knows? No one. Unless you're watching this in the future and there are more episodes, in which case it's not the last one. But anyway, enough about that, and I will catch you cats on the flip-flop. Goodbye.